Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing so well. As you guys know, recently I just became a mama. I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Maya back in November. Say hi, Mai. This is my daughter. And my beautiful princess has just turned 3 months. So she's officially kind of technically not a newborn anymore. And so I've had 3 months of parenting experience, and I get asked, especially by new moms or expecting moms, like what my baby's awake. Okay, so this is as real as it gets. Starting to film a video and my baby needs me. Which brings us to the perfect segue. This video is in partnership with Johnson's A Parent Is Born campaign, which is actually a campaign that has been created to bring the new parent community together to break down the stigmas of parenting and highlight the expectations versus the realities of being a new parent. Hi, I'm a new parent. As I was watching the episodes from the series, there were so many topics and things that parents were kind of hitting, which I could absolutely relate to. I kind of got inspirations from those videos to kind of talk about my experience as a new parent. As you just saw, I started off this video thinking I could sit down and chat with you guys for about 20 minutes, and my baby woke up from her nap and she needed me, and so here we are. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram what topics and things you guys wanted me to kind of talk about. So I guess me and Maya are gonna do that today. So one of the topics that we could touch on is childcare. All right, so childcare, the guilt of leaving your baby with someone so you can live your life. I'm struggling. Going into parenting, I kind of knew what kind of parent I was gonna be, which is like a very hands-on mum. I just knew. Am I boring you? I think I'm boring her. No, but I just knew that I was going to be a very, very hands-on mum, and I knew that, like, you know, if I need to get stuff done, I'm going to get stuff done. Your life doesn't just stop because you become a mum. See, I thought I was going to be like okay, but when the time came to just go down the road and leave Maya with her grandma just so I could get my nails done, I pushed back the appointment like 4 or 5 times. I just got my nails done for the first time. It took me 3 months to feel like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave my baby. You know, I haven't embarked like going out with my friends yet, you know, leaving Maya for like the whole day. I think just like gradually you just take every day as it comes. Still being a baddie and an active mommy. Okay, everybody has that one thing inside of them that is a part of your identity. For me, being glam is just something that is just a part of me. It makes me feel happy, it makes me feel beautiful. I couldn't see myself giving it up. And there was one time I was pregnant and I was getting glam and everything, and my mom turned to me and she said, do you really think you're going to be able to do this after you have Maya? I looked at her and I was just thinking to myself, why would you say something so mean? My glam routine before I was, you know, a mum, I would sit down in front of my mirror for like an hour and a half, put on my favorite podcast. I would put on a show and I would get glam. I knew that being a mum, I wasn't going to be able to do that. Impossible. Like, it's not going to happen. At least not for a good 2 or 3 years. 5 months into my pregnancy, I said, okay, I'm going to try and learn to do my makeup in 20 minutes. I spent the rest of my pregnancy, every time I got glam, putting the timer on for 20 minutes and getting glam. And so that's exactly what I do now. Start 20-minute timer again. Here we go. Boom. All right, let's do this. I don't have that same time that I used to, but I also still want to keep that part of me alive, you know? From going from like an hour and a half to cutting everything down to 20 minutes. Aside from Maya, it's probably like one of my proudest achievements. The expectation of raising a baby girl. Before I ever got pregnant, I really thought that, because there's so much women in my life, God was gonna give me a boy. I never really thought about like what goes into raising a girl. Every day I think about, I want to be a good example for my baby girl. As a woman, there's so many things you kind of have to like deal with in society. I have always kind of been a rebel against those things, and I have learnt that maybe being a rebel isn't always the best way to deal with things, but I do want Maya to fight against those double standards, to still be a woman that, you know, doesn't let society make her do things that she doesn't want to do. Like the first week of parenthood as a first-time mum, what I was expecting was that I was gonna deal with postpartum depression, especially because my midwives asked me whether I had depression before, which I have, and they kind of expressed to me that women who have experienced depression before are likely to kind of experience postpartum depression once they give birth. I had this midwife who kept saying to me, listen, when you give birth, there is an overdrive of hormones, and you know, your hormones drop dramatically the minute you give birth, and you will feel is immense sadness straight away. The reality was, the minute I gave birth, I experienced the opposite of what she was talking about, and I was on a high.
I love you, baby girl. I'm so happy.
I'm not going to say that this would be the case for every first-time mom. Of course not. Every mother's experience is different from the next. I'm going to breastfeed my daughter now. Sorry. That first week, I was still kind of worried and scared. Like, when is it going to happen? And then also, I was expecting to be sleep deprived. And my best friend took like 4 weeks off work, you know, unpaid, to be there to support me and Maya, making sure that I got my sleep, making sure that I got taken care of. I didn't expect to be changing that many diapers though. We were changing diapers like round the clock. Speaking of changing diapers, as I was changing her diaper, she would do a poo. She would poo even more mid-change. Even more mid-change. Hi, baby. Oh! I think my daughter just said a poo. That's absolutely fine. But that's what happens. You change their nappy and then they go and do a poo on you. That's absolutely fine. And I think to finish off, I really didn't expect how much joy I was gonna get in the first week. I thought it was gonna be more stressful. It wasn't as stressful as I expected it to be. I think every baby kind of gives you what you need. I definitely went through a lot in my pregnancy, not with my pregnancy, but just like, you know, external stress in pregnancy. And I think my baby just knew that I needed less stress. And so she gave me exactly that. Thank you, May. Am I still boring you? Let's change your diaper. Yeah. And the next topic actually goes into the last topic we were just talking about, transitioning into motherhood. So I thought it was going to be a lot harder for me to kind of transition. In my third trimester, I started to like nest, like starting to get the home ready for Maya and like starting to get her stuff ready, and I felt more motherly towards the end of my pregnancy. So when I gave birth, everything just kind of like happened. Mainly it was because I had like some midwives, especially the midwives that kind of helped me give birth, really like encouraged me and made me feel good about, you know, the whole birthing process.
You did so well. You're pushing. All I did was literally just help her turn around.
They really uplifted me and encouraged me in the process. You know, I love some words of affirmation. That's like the thing that really does it for me. And so they were really applauding me and being very vocal about how well I did in my birth.
So I did that.
You did it. All right, you did it. Amazing. You absolutely did.
And I think that was like the best thing they could have done. They made me feel like I was more than capable. See, Mama, you are tired. You are tired. I'm gonna trust my instincts and I'm gonna put you to sleep. That's another thing. You have to just trust your instincts. I cannot engage with this because you are tired. Okay. Has your understanding of parenthood changed? And is it what I expected? Honestly, I think it has. Having the parents that I have, just like analyzing what they went through, I just kind of started to have so much empathy for them. Even though I've had conversations with my parents about showing out for me in ways that I would have liked, especially since having my daughter, like I can't imagine doing things that my parents have done to me, to Maya. Like I would never. But then again, I know that there are going to be things that I do or have done that Maya is going to learn from and not want to kind of pass down to her kids. You just do the best with the tools that you have. And you have a generation of kids and you just hope that the next generation does better than you have. How do I feel that dad is abroad? I do feel sad for them sometimes, but I don't see it as any different as, like, you know, the mum being a stay-at-home mum and dad's at work. Like, it's just, there's things that the stay-at-home parent will get to experience and witness before the parent that goes back to work. Like, sometimes that's just the case, whereas in our case, dad's not at work. Well, he is working, but he's working like thousands of miles away. What did I expect or didn't expect when it came to breastfeeding? Listen, I feel like breastfeeding in general, every woman's experience is so different. I really expected my breast to hurt when I started breastfeeding, because that's all I ever heard. When it came to like Maya latching on, it never really hurt. Sometimes women have a positive breastfeeding journey. Sometimes women have a negative one. In my experience, I didn't expect it to work some of the time. For example, there are times when I have abundance of milk, my breasts are like engorging. And there are times when I have literally nothing and my baby's getting frustrated. That is very real sometimes, you know. It's unusual, but it's very real. Very early on, because I wasn't sure of how my milk was gonna come in, I started combo feeding. I probably feed baby breast milk 85% of the time, but that 15% of the time I give her formula. I had, you know, midwives and my friends telling me, you know, just breastfeed more, the milk will come in, pump more, the milk will come in. Your breast will start to adjust to like giving baby what she needs, how much she needs. There was a period where Maya was going for a growth spurt and she was so hungry all the time. Like, yeah, so we started off combo feeding. I'm kind of glad I did that because Maya's gotten older. I definitely need my caffeine to get through the day and I don't feel comfortable all the time giving her caffeinated breast milk. In the mornings, when I have my coffee, we skip a breastfeeding session. Unexpected happy moments. There are so many things I didn't expect that would bring me joy. Just seeing her grow, I think, just like noticing different things that she could do. Like for a good 2 weeks, she would put her fingers in her mouth and I think she was just like kind of discovering her body. One day, she just put her thumb in her mouth and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a fluke. And she did it again and I was like, oh, stop, this has to be a fluke. Just 2 nights ago, she was lying there and she just went straight in like that, boom, right in her mouth. And I was like, so lovely. The other day we were singing the intro to Beyonce's Crazy in Love. Well, I was singing it and she was just imitating me. And that was so funny. Morning and nighttime routines. I didn't really have a plan for them because I just thought things were just gonna go the way that they were gonna go. You know, since being a mum to Maya for like the last 3 months, the only thing that is consistent, I would say, is we turn the lights off at 10 o'clock at night and we talk with our quiet voices so she knows it's nighttime. And I think because we did that for the first month of her life, she's adjusted to nighttime pretty well. She sleeps for long at nighttime, and you know, in the daytime we make sure that we're up, we're lively, she's in different areas of the house, so she knows that daytime is when you get things done, nighttime is when you rest and sleep. Best sleeping advice. So many people told me, oh yeah, sleep when the baby's down. The reality is, when the baby's down, that's the only chance you get to get stuff done. So how can you sleep with the baby's down? So no. Sorry, I think there's another diaper change. How many diapers is that in this video so far? Well, I have been filming for like maybe like over an hour now. So when it comes to sleep, I think that it's about managing things on a day-to-day. That is parenthood. If you have a routine before parenthood, say goodbye to that. You can have somewhat of a guide of how you want things to go. When it comes to sleep, you have to kind of know your body. If I can feel my body that I'm really, really tired, and if I need to go down when baby's down, I'm going down. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop me. Okay, I am going down. However, if I'm doing okay, and if I confirm, you know, lack of sleep for just a day or two to get things done, then I will do it. Having a home that is like just chaotic increases my anxiety, you know, and so for me, I need to have my home somewhat tidy. How does parenthood affect partnership? You kind of are constantly focused on the baby. You forget to check in with each other. And that is something that we kind of had to like learn. Maya's dad, he likes to consider like financial support. I've had to explain to him that like emotional support is really important as well, you know. And I think as well, because I'm quite vocal and I express how I'm doing without him even having to ask, I've had to let him know like sometimes it's still important for you to still ask me though. Like sometimes as well with me, I have to kind of like see how he's doing, you know, especially if he's had a really rough time at work. I can't just be like, oh, guess what Maya did today. It's important to just check in with each other. Before he was Maya's dad, he was daddy. So before we're parents, we are ourselves, you know. So the first few months of parenthood, I think that I expected it to get easier. It does, but it has different challenges at every stage. What do you have to say to the people? What do you have to say? Do you want to say goodbye and tell them thank you so much for watching and hanging out? All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We love you, and we will see you on the next one. Say bye, Mai. Okay.